Welcome to The Watchers. We are The Watchers. I'm Victoria Burt with Killer Shot Films.
And I'm Kevin Marable with theblackscript.com.
How are you, Kevin? Good to see you.
I'm good. I'm good. It's great to see you as well.
So today we're going to be talking about a pretty spectacular movie. I'm going to spoil my feelings about it.
Yes, I can't wait.
Yeah, one battle after another. So why don't you tell me what you thought the film was about?
One battle after another. I first and foremost love the title. Um, Obviously, I knew from based off the trailer that it was about revolutionists. I thought it was about this couple that was going to save their daughter. I didn't go into it knowing a whole lot about what the premise was going to be, just knowing that it was Leonardo DiCaprio, Teyana Taylor, Chase Infiniti, and I fell in love with the title as well as the movie poster or the key art showcasing Teyana Taylor with that machine gun or whatever that gun is and her pregnant belly. And I was like, I've got to see that movie.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay, so I had almost the opposite reaction to the marketing, essentially, right? I went because of Tiana, though, because I was
Yes.
like, I was really reluctant. I think you would when you were like, I saw it and I was like, nah, I gotta go see it. All right. So I was like, okay, go see. So I literally ran over like 2 hours before it started, but got the ticket, ran over there, and I didn't like the title. I was like, what does that even mean? Like, I wasn't thinking. I didn't really see. I saw I saw the trailer once. I'm not somebody who loves movies about revolution, like at any generational level, like at any decade or time. I don't. It's not sort of like my first go to type of film.
Right.
But I really wanted to support her, and I enjoy Leonardo DiCaprio, and I love Paul Thomas Anderson. So I was like, okay, just go.
Right.
You might not love it, but let's just go. Okay, I was so wrong. You know what I mean? It was fantastic, and it was so complicated.
It really was.
Right?
And yeah, just I know you said you didn't really love the title,
No,
but
I didn't get it until I got it halfway through the movie. I was like,
right.
we're in
And for
one
me,
battle after another. We're in one battle after another.
the title intrigued me,
Yeah.
because obviously it doesn't give away anything in the movie, so you're wondering, okay, what could this be about? Like, what are the battles? If it's one battle after another,
Mm-hmm.
what are they battling for?
Mm-hmm.
And what could they potentially be like? What's their cause? What are they fighting for?
Mm-hmm.
And so you go into it not knowing what the fight is going to be about until the movie starts.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, and I think you also go in it with all of today's battles, right? And so when it starts, they don't really get very specific, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
Um, but they're there to fuck shit up. May I just put it very right? And
essentially, yes.
right, and it starts with the flashback, and it introduces Tiana, and she is one of the most powerful women,
Yes,
just in
yes.
general, right? In general, as a human being, like her. But this character is,
Perfidia Beverly Hills.
I mean, okay, hello, name. I'm going to call myself Victoria of New York. I don't know.
Right,
My name is just too fancy for that. I was just like this woman, right?
right.
And immediately she was interestingly triggering as a Black woman to me.
Strong.
Strong, very
Mhm.
sexualized, right?
Yes,
Because she's
yes.
so, first of all, she's gorgeous, right?
Mhm.
Um, and her interaction with all the men, her power is comes from her intelligence and her bravery and her bravado and her sexuality,
Yeah. She knows what she wants
right?
and
And
she
she's
knows how
just
to get it.
unyielding, right?
Yes, right.
Um, and we meet Leo, who just seems like he's Bob. Could there be more of a, as what's that joke when the Cat Williams is like, that may be that's a white baby from Caucasusville or whatever. You know that joke? You know what I'm talking about? Where he's in this.
I don't know the joke
Oh my
offhand,
God, that's not a
but
that's not a light baby. That's a white baby. When he says
oh,
he's
right.
talking to that woman, right? It's such a funny joke.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I was like, Bob, like he was so basic. I mean, an expert in explosions, but a basic dude that's in for the ride. Like he felt like he was along for the ride of
Right.
this excitement and this.
But I felt like that was the complete opposite of Perfidia. I
Exactly.
felt that's why they were together.
Yeah, and
Mm.
I mean, obviously, you know, Leonardo's a very attractive man, so like you get it why she would be attracted to him. But I
Mhm.
also felt like she was able to keep the chickens close to the, you know, close to home. Like she was not, let me put it this way, with Colonel Lockjaw, okay, right?
Right.
She had a full affair with him to um to keep him under control. And I really, after I left the theater, I really thought that was a form of rape to me. You know what I mean?
It
Uh,
it really was.
yeah, she
Mhm.
used what she had to do to not get arrested and continue the cause, but but she was just such a, um, a force,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I was so also moved by after she became pregnant and she had the baby
Right.
and
And kinda
she
lost kinda lost interest there.
yeah, and what I thought was so beautiful about that is that that experience with women is rarely really shown,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
That a postpartum episode of sorts,
Right.
and how she dealt with it, and the jealousy of her partner's love for the baby and her disconnect, and I thought it was so touching to me that they showed this woman who her struggle with the relationship with her newborn, and when she knows the baby, I mean, you can assume she knows whose father is, right? Maybe that was a represent, or even the confusion about who the father is would be
So
something that
so
would be triggering.
so I will say,
Yeah,
me watching it
yeah.
initially, watching everything unfold, I did not realize at the time when she decides to step out and, you know, leave. I didn't realize that that was her leaving because of what she knew in the back of her mind. I thought that that was more so a postpartum episode,
Mm-hmm.
and that she was having that that attachment or detachment
Mm-hmm.
you know issue, and so she had to remove herself from the situation in order for the child to have a a good life. That's kind of what I was taking
Yeah.
from that moment,
Me
but it
too.
wasn't until later, and this is way later, after I'm done watching the movie. Obviously, I watch everything, but once I'm done watching the movie, I immediately go online, listen to other people's commentary, and do this little deep dive of what they thought the movie was about.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this young lady that was talking about how it was from the fact of she realized that it wasn't Bob's, and that she had that detachment all along because she can see that it wasn't Bob's, and she knew from what she had went through, and that she had to endure.
Mm-hmm.
She had to remove herself from the situation.
Yeah, I assume, well, I mean, just because of the sequences of the film,
Hmm.
you know, she has sex with Sean Penn's character,
Hmm.
and and then the next scene she's pregnant, right? So I made the assumption that that was purposeful, obviously, and that that was the connection, and so I thought whether she knows for sure
Hmm.
that that is Lockjaw's baby or not, even the possibility
Right.
sullies that the sort of clean path to just an open heart. I was just, I was so moved by it. At first, watching the scenes, it only hit me uh, when I think when she read the letter at the very end of the movie, when I was like, oh my gosh,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So, you want to talk about who else is in this movie before we go too far down the path of the story?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's go through the cast.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have Leonardo DiCaprio. We
Yeah.
have Teyana
He
Taylor.
was perfect. He was perfect. Yeah.
Chase Infiniti, which this was her feature film
That girl.
debut.
Yeah.
This was her debut in a feature film. Regina Hall, Sean,
Underutilized. Regina,
yeah,
she was underutilized in this movie.
Sean Penn,
Hmm.
and Benicio Del Toro.
Genius.
As well as I was also surprised to see that Wood Harris was in this film. I
Hmm.
was not expecting that. He wasn't really mentioned anywhere, uh, but I was glad to see him in this film.
Yeah. I'll just say, and you tell me what you think. I mean, I had a moment watching Leonardo DiCaprio in this movie, and I thought he is one of the best actors alive on earth
Oh
currently.
yeah,
There
hell
was a
yeah.
scene, and where he had a wave of fear roll over his face,
Hmm.
and it was imperceptible. It was a shift, and I thought, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like, I mean, we know he's good, but I mean, you forget.
Yeah. He can just about play any character.
And he played bumbling.
Yes.
I heard him talk about this character.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's definitely a very interesting, but polar opposite personas between the characters that are Black, the characters that are Spanish,
Hmm.
Hispanic, and the characters that are white, right? Like, there's just very clear behavior patterns, entitled, bombastic,
Yeah.
I mean, Bob is just bumbling. He's just a bumbling.
He's trying to find his path, and he's lost without Perfidia,
I
because
mean,
Perfidia was the one that kept everything under control. She had the set plan. He just kind of went along with
right.
he
He
went
showed up with the bomb.
oh, yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah, he was a go with the flow kind of character. And once time lapsed,
I mean,
he lost
he was just high all the time.
he lost
Right.
his way.
Right.
uh his life just became, like you said, getting high and making sure his daughter got off to
Yeah.
school.
But not even. He wasn't even
But I
taking
was gonna
care of
say,
her. Yeah.
you can see that the personality of
Hmm.
Perfidia was passed down to
Completely.
Willa,
Yeah.
because she completely took control of the situation. She had control of the household.
Yeah. She was the
And
caretaker. She was the parent.
yes,
Right.
yes,
Um, and I thought that he was just the example of how is this man even still alive? An example of somebody mediocre. He was
yeah,
very good at one thing, we assume, right? The explosive stuff, but he just wasn't keeping it together, and he was on the run,
yeah,
right? Like, he was
yeah.
literally hiding out, and he was just ill-equipped with this old little beacon thing, you know.
Mhm.
And then I thought that I thought Regina King, ugh,
Regina Hall.
Regina Hall
Yeah,
was so underutilized.
she was, but I
Yeah.
think I think even within her silence and her quietness, in the moments that they showed her on screen,
Hmm.
she still delivered
Oh,
a
she
great
was brilliant.
performance.
No, she
Yeah,
was brilliant. I just wanted more from that character.
me too.
That's what
Me
I
too.
mean, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and which just means I wanted more. And the movie was what, 3 hours? I could have watched 55 more minutes of that movie. I could have watched
Right,
more
right.
of Benicio del Toro,
Yes.
Sensei.
Yeah, but he showed a sort of calmness in the chaos.
Yes. Well, he was a leader,
Yes,
right? Again, Bob
but
was a follower. He was a leader.
yes, but
He needs a leader.
within all the chaos that's going on around him, and everything that's going on around him, as you can see, he's already willingly prepared. His family's prepared.
Yes.
Everybody's prepared for the day, for the whatever the day to come, to
Hmm.
where they
Whatever
either have
the next battle,
yes,
they're
the
prepared.
next battle is, and they're prepared to move accordingly.
Hmm.
And you can see that with all of the hidden rooms and the tunnels, and
Yeah.
and all of that good stuff.
What moment I loved when he shows up and he's just like you say prepared, and he just like goes into you know
Hmm.
and Bob is just bobbing, right?
He's
And
frantic. He
he's a
doesn't know what to do.
mess. He's a mess. And
Yeah.
one thing that's great about Leo is just inherently likable, so you don't get super frustrated with the character. But
Hmm.
I loved it when they were like doing all the stuff and they go into the floorboards, and then
Yeah.
literally the rug just goes whoop right on
Yes.
top, and then the cop, and then I
Perfect.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, that timing
Perfect.
was delicious. Yeah.
Right. Like that's what I was saying. Like Benicio and his
He
family.
that character was fire. That
Yeah,
character was fire. And I think the last time we see him, he's doing that little dance.
yes,
For
he's
the, I was like, you know what? You got to do your thing, man. It was. I want to watch a whole movie about him.
yeah.
I want to
Oh
watch
yeah.
a whole movie about Sunset. They should create a TV series about Sunset. Right? That's it. My computer keeps going out. All right, let's talk about Sean Penn
Oh
and
man,
Colonel Lockjaw.
Colonel Lockjaw.
I called him the
Uh,
White Terminator with that walk.
that
It
walk,
was
they're like
crazy.
the way that Sean Penn embodies
It
this
was
character.
unbelievable.
I mean, that alone deserves
It's
an
a award.
Oscar.
Everybody should be get an award for it, right?
Yes,
Everybody should be nominated for this thing.
but I hated his character.
Hated him, but that's great. He
Yeah,
was not
exactly.
afraid to be as despicable
Yes.
and entitled and lustful,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He loved her.
And
He hated her. I don't know.
and hateful.
Right?
Yeah.
Like he was going to kill that little girl.
Mm-hmm. He didn't care because
He wanted to have the Christmas people.
He wanted the acceptance over his daughter acceptance, or
yeah,
you know,
of
he
course.
didn't really care about the family aspect or having a child.
Of course not. She was not a Teyana Taylor's character was not something he loved. It's something he wanted. Right.
That note that she left at the end where she says, "My pee don't pop for you."
No, baby. Bye. You know, and he was reckless. He was reckless around her. You know, so she put a spell on him, but ultimately she knew she needed to get away from him because he would have probably just eventually killed her, right? And it was such an interesting arc. I mean, I remember watching it and thinking, why did Paul Thomas Anderson decide to not have his death scene be the car accident, right? Like, you know, so we're now flipping towards the end of the movie, right? We have this scene where you know, like if T1 is if if I'm going to keep up this analogy, right? So if Sean Penn is Terminator 1, the homeboy with the assassin from the Christmas Crew is T2. He was like,
right,
you know, like, I was like, oh my gosh, these people are out of their minds. And I'm going to tell you, I thoroughly believe that exists. I know it sounds a little conspiratorial, but
me too.
Okay, and then I was watching a podcast about was it a podcast? Yeah, I think so. And I tried to not listen to it, but I couldn't help myself because it was so entertaining. And they talked about the fact that they looked up the name of the crew. I can't remember what it was called. It was like the Christmas something, right?
Oh, wow.
And that in another language was means something that's KKK.
Right.
Right. And I thought, wow, he just went deep, you know?
Yeah. It was almost like, how can I get this message across without it being marked, or they say, no, take this out of the movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It was
how can I
it was diabolical. So when we saw him walking down the street in his march, right? And I don't know what kind of camera lens he used, right? He used the VistaVision camera lens, I think.
It was shot in VistaVision, but I don't know what lenses they used.
Because whatever they used, Sean Penn could easily be 4 feet tall. Yeah. I don't actually know how tall he is, but in that movie, he looks 5'5".
A lot of actors are short. Yeah.
Okay. Because when he was walking, I was like, that's like I'm watching a Lego movie. You know, like it's just really small. He looks so small. So, but then when he went into the office, and they were like, you know, and they disposed of him with his feet up.
Oh, well, first, before they even get to that, when you know, ultimately when we realize he survives, we're like, how in the world is this man still alive?
Yeah.
And then they fast forward to the scene where he's still able to meet with the Christmas Christmas folks,
Mm-hmm.
and they show him around their office. They show him his new digs, but the camera pans from like the lower half of his body
Mm-hmm.
up, up to his face, and at first you see like the
Oof.
cleft lip,
Yeah.
and then from the cleft lip you see the glass eye or the gray eye, showcasing the fact that that's how he survived. He was shot through the eye, but obviously it didn't hit his brain or it didn't hit
Yeah.
anything that was,
Yeah.
severe enough. Um, and just the look of who he is today at that moment, you're just like, wow,
Yeah.
this guy does not give up. He does
He's
not give up the fight. It's part of the battle,
he's
you
just
know?
this is the new one. He's ready with the next one.
Yeah.
And
And he's ready for more war. That's why he
yeah,
was there. He was there.
it was intense, and I thought that that character was the example of like unrelenting power of not
Hate.
having to be in the battle, right? Not being the recipient of hate, of privilege, and
Mhm.
because they just keep coming, they just keep getting up. Even if Lockjaw had died, there would just be another person that would replace him,
Yeah,
right?
the other guy
Right,
that went to take Lockjaw out.
right. So, um, I want to come back and say I after the movie ended, I was in the bathroom, and there were
Hmm.
two black girls in the bathroom, and they were talking to each other, and they're like, I felt really uncomfortable with how much they sexualized Tiana's character. I mean, why does the black one always have to be the sexualized um, you know being, right?
Right, right.
And so I really thought about that, because I brushed up against that feeling too, because like one of the first shots that we see of her is after Lockjaw finds her again and sees her, and it's just like her body and all these different things. And
Hmm.
but then I thought, if that was a white woman, no one would say that. So there's just something so interesting about that. Why? And the reason I bring this up is because Paul Thomas Anderson is married to a black woman,
Right, right.
right? So
Yeah.
his lens and how he sees us is different. It's a different lens. And so I think there's adoration, as well as it's not just simply um you know sexual black bodies or whatever, you know what I mean?
Well, I think it's also a lot of perspective on, first and foremost, their choice in actor with Teyana Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, for most people, you're gonna think sexy. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
think strong.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna think strong-minded
Mm-hmm.
because she is strong-minded. And it comes out in her personality,
Yeah.
and not strong-minded in a bad way, but strong-minded in, I know what I want, and I'm going to get what I want,
Yeah.
and nothing's going to stop me. And there's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of sexiness in that. And for a lot of men, that's a turn on. And for Colonel Lockjaw, that was the turn on for him.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was necessarily the blackness. I think it was more so
Mm.
the mindset, the personality, and the boldness of,
Mm-hmm. It was despite, right? It was
yeah.
despite her color,
Mhm.
her skin color, right?
And,
Because
and the
he
fact that she gave him a little attention, but then he turned around and gave it right back.
mm-hmm.
But the attention in his mind was different than the attention that was in her mind.
Yeah, he was terrifying. That was a terrifying character.
Yeah, and trust me, there's plenty of Colonel Lockjaws in this world.
You ain't gotta tell me. Um, what was your overall takeaway? What did you feel when you left the theater?
Definitely one of the best movies of the year. I know a lot of people have been comparing it to Sinners, or putting them head to head as to which movie was better. I still edge out Sinners as better.
I'm just not going to engage in this kind of dialogue with
No,
anybody.
I know.
I'm like, these are different movies. Why do we
Very,
like?
very different movies, but when in the conversation of Oscar worthy,
Oh
and
well.
and best movie of the year, that kind of thing, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's why a lot of people
Ah,
had Sinners winning.
you mean the
So
Oscar race?
Oscars, yes, I'm sorry.
No, that's
Um,
okay. Oh, that's
a lot of
tough.
people. yeah, a lot of people had Sinners winning
Mm-hmm.
early on, and here comes one battle after another
Mm-hmm.
that can seemingly take
Oh
its
no,
spot.
oh gosh, I mean, like if you think about the year we're in,
Hmm.
that is a political organization. That is a organization that is, I don't know if I'd call it diverse. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know if they're going to have more. You know what? I'm going to even say this, and uh, I really don't like award shows for this very reason, because I don't feel that you can take. We're having one of the best movie years in a really long time.
I really do think so.
And I cannot tolerate somebody taking the shine off of one movie to put it on another, when, you know, I want all the flowers. I want the flowers in a big rose bush of movies that are horror, and
Right.
I want them all. And so to me, to like, it's like that. It was like the battle between, Moonlight and, was it Moonlight and the other thing. Like,
Yeah,
no, they're all wonderful movies. So
they are.
I don't know. I
I, I,
really resist
I
that
definitely
conversation.
I definitely know for a fact they're both going to be nominated as best movies or
Yeah.
best pictures of the year for sure. Um,
I mean, how do we pick between, the directors in these circumstances? I mean, both Weapons, and because Weapons, I think, is on that list. I mean, Weapons would be
yeah,
it would be amazing if Weapons got nominated, because a horror movie so rarely does get
right.
nominated, right? I think the last one was, like, dare I say, I might be making this up, but Silence of the Lambs, which won. I don't know, but
Wow.
I could be making that up though. But there are a lot of movies. I think it's 10 movies that can be nominated for best Oscar,
Yeah, I
right?
believe so. And that's we're only naming three right now with
Right.
Sinners,
I know there's
Weapons,
and there are others out there, I'm sure,
right,
that are
and
maybe
one
not
battle
in
after
our you know, and in our sort of like things that we see. But also, I think that this is usually the season that they all drop, right? Because they want to sort of like drop that
yeah,
last few months before,
right,
um,
where it's still
voting
fresh in
season.
people's
Yeah.
mind. Hmm.
So I don't know. But let's think about it. So I'm gonna say, without any hesitation, this movie is watchable,
Oh, without a doubt, it's
right?
definitely watchable. It's watchable in theaters.
Yeah,
It's easily watchable again once
yeah. I can't
once
wait to
home.
watch it again.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it several times over. This is a movie I feel like you also have to study because the writing is excellent, the cinematography is excellent. That chase scene where they're going up and
Oh
down
gosh, can we talk about
the,
that? Did you
the
get
hills.
nauseous?
I did,
I had to
but
stop
I
looking.
loved it at the same time because as they're going up and down the hills, you're coming closer and you're falling away and you're wondering, okay, which car am I in? Am I am I the car that's behind or am I the
Hmm.
car that's in front? Because a lot of those times you really couldn't see which perspective you were getting until
It was also such a beautiful way to build tension in a chase,
yes, yes,
right?
yes, on a road that I
On a
didn't know
road.
existed.
Was it real? I gotta look. I gotta Google.
I don't know.
But also how he concluded it, I really didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
see, and then I was like, oh my God, this is genius.
yeah.
At my old age, I can be really surprised by what a character does and what a writer wrote, and
Hmm.
I thought that was real. I'm so glad you remembered to bring that up. That was really something, because I was like, whoa, I'm getting nauseous. I'm like, what is going on? Because it went on for a considerable amount of time.
It did, but it to me it didn't feel too long and it didn't feel too short. It felt just right because in the midst of a chase, he's giving you the chase. He's
Mm-hmm.
not cutting any corners.
Mm-hmm.
He's showcasing, like I said, he's showcasing from two different perspectives, I think. And you don't really know where they're at within the chase until they catch up to each other. And that part builds the suspense and it makes it exciting.
Yeah.
And for it to be at that time, for it to be so late in the film, or at least where obviously the movie is almost 3 hours long, it's like 2.5 hours long, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, it felt like it was close to the end of the film, but it didn't feel like it was taking anything away or adding too much.
I didn't even notice the length of the movie at all, right?
Hmm.
And I think that was towards the end of the movie, right? Because the scene after that was oh, that fantastic scene when Bob pulls up and he's like, "It's Daddy,"
Yeah, yeah,
right? And
yeah.
she was
And
locked in. She was locked
right,
in.
she was locked in, but right then she also was like, I don't know you. Like, I don't know you like I thought I knew you.
Mm,
Because the whole DNA test that Colonel Lockjaw did with
mm-hmm,
her
mm,
opened her eyes to the fact of, oh, my dad might not necessarily be my dad. You might be my dad.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so who have I been living with for the past,
Oh, that's a
you
really
know?
good point. Who have I been living with? Well, I mean, she
So
knows it's not. She knows that's not her father, right? Because she knows now this
she
lockjaw.
knows now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But at the time, she was, I took it as she was confused
I
and
just took it as she
wondering.
was in revolutionary mode.
Well, a part of that, yes.
Mm,
Obviously, her natural instincts kick in, and she just wants to survive. But she had just been kidnapped, and then she is confronted by the man who thinks he's her father. They do the whole DNA test, and then here comes her father to
yeah,
come save the day, and she's like, well, who are these people? I'm just trying to live a regular life.
right.
My
I was just
dad
trying to
told
go
me
to a
about
dance.
Yeah, my dad told me about all of this stuff, but I thought it was all hoopla, and he was just crazy and just high all the time. And here I am in the middle of a situation that I never thought I was going to be in, and what my dad was telling me all along was true.
Yeah, it was great, and even
Yeah,
how the scene before that when she escapes.
right.
I mean,
Yeah,
that she was just on the verge of I don't know what going. Sons of Anarchy were about to take over the situation, right?
man,
That was
her,
terrifying.
Chase Infinity is. I got to know who she was as an actress in Presumed Innocent. I don't know if you saw
I
that
did.
series,
I did. It's
and
great.
that was the first thing that I had ever seen her in.
Mm-hmm.
And in this being her first feature film, her acting and her facial expressions, especially when she was behind the machine gun, I knew Teyana Taylor was going to kill it, but when she was behind the machine gun with that stone face,
Mm-hmm.
and you just see the cheek
Mm-hmm.
shaking,
Mm-hmm.
and then once she escapes from that compound and gets behind and gets in the car and
Yeah.
drives, um, her acting is amazing for her to be a newbie, new on the scene relatively.
Yeah. It was.
I,
She was great. Yeah. She was
Mhm. And
fantastic.
she was in great company. I mean, all-star cast, and what a movie to start off with.
Yeah, and I loved also just, and I'll finish with this. I loved the relationship she had with Leonardo. It felt like a
Yeah.
real, like Bob. It felt like a real father,
Right, right.
and there that little space for dialogue that was paternal,
Hmm.
that was charming, right? And
Right.
all I wanted her to do was get back to him,
Hmm.
and vice versa. As long as Bob didn't mess it up, like bless his
Which
heart.
there was a couple times where you
I was
like,
like,
oh,
Bob, gather it up. Take off the bathrobe, Bob. Take off the bathrobe.
with the bathrobe added to his
It
kookiness,
was. It reminded me of. Yeah, it did. It reminded me of Quentin Tarantino and Pulp Fiction when Eric
Yeah,
Stoltz's character had the bathrobe on, like, and then, and then, and then Quentin's character had the bathrobe on. Like it's that like sort of white nude bathrobe that they don't take off in a movie. I was like, this is hysterical with that
bathrobe,
bathrobe.
the blue blockers, and the beanie hat. What a
Fantastic.
combination!
And
Yeah,
and even just he's so ill prepared. Even like the backpack, even though things are
right.
set up, but they're not set up right. The backpack with the little pink, backpack dangling. I was like, brother, get it together. Get it together.
he, he didn't have any time to.
But that's what the go bag is supposed to be when you gotta
Mhm.
go. Not
Yeah. He was so far removed.
he
Oh,
was. He was just
one
high.
more scene. I tell you, can we get to the part was one of my favorite scenes,
Okay.
obviously.
Okay. Oh, and I'll
Um,
tell you my favorite. You tell me yours.
so I have two.
Okay.
My favorite, my first and foremost, my favorite scene is when Teyana Taylor is behind the machine gun with
Okay.
That obviously that's my favorite. But my second favorite is the conversation that Bob has, but he does not remember the full password.
Oh,
He doesn't remember what time it is.
the answer. Do you remember the answer? I don't remember the answer, but the answer was something like time is a
Time
construct
is
or
right.
something.
Time is relative
Yeah,
or
time
something.
is a construct that doesn't exist. You're like, really, really.
That was hilarious to me. That was
Um,
great.
yeah, I think my favorite scene for tension
Mhm.
was when the daughter was at the Sons of Anarchy um, house.
Okay.
I was so tense.
Yeah.
I was so scared. I didn't know what was going to happen. That's my favorite feeling in a movie when I'm
Which
like,
part? But
so when
which part
she pulls when they pull up
hmm
because so Lockjaw tells the guy take her wherever, and you're like, damn, you don't
Yeah.
even
He's like,
take it to
like
them
get it.
guys. You're selling her or giving her away to like for what to who to why,
Yeah.
and so and just her like trying to figure out how to get out of here, and then
hmm
the guy says, you've got this girl, and they
hmm
plop her on the chair, and then
hmm
he goes to leave, and then his conscience gets to him,
Yeah. Because she's
right?
still a minor. She's
She's a
17.
child, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes back in and shoots the guy, and then shoots the guy, and then you're in with her, and you're like, she's got to go, and she's got to try to get the car going, and then she's got to go get the key.
Yeah. I know.
I was like, oh my God, that I was so tense because I did not know what was going to happen at any point. I was just really, really frightened. I was really, really frightened.
Yeah.
And then the entire scenario. Okay, so I love the whole sensei thing with Benicio, but my
hmm
favorite part of it was when Bob was trying to catch up with the Skater Boys. He's trying to roll with the Skater Boys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
doing the Matrix across the rooftops and jumping,
Right.
and then when he just and he just like lands on the ground, I was like, that was genius, and because I had never seen that done like that before, you know what I
Well,
mean?
and it also lends to the fact of I'm not young anymore.
Yes,
This so much time has passed on. I am
yes.
now an older guy. I can't run my, you know, the
It
hilarity
was
within it
so
all.
funny. It was so funny. So those two things were like the sheer joy that he's running away. He's trying to get away, like get him out. And then when
Right.
those skater boys rolled up to Benito, like, where you lost him? He fell off the roof. It was just fantastic. It was just fantastic. I mean, there are more scenes that I loved, but those were the two
Mhm.
that um, I really enjoyed. If I had to pick one with Teyana, though, the thing that moved me the most was the letter at the end for
Oh
that
yeah.
character.
Yeah. hmm
And I didn't know she was alive. Did you think she was still alive?
Oh, to me, it gave me insight to the fact that she's still alive. She's still watching, but she's in hiding because she
Okay.
knows.
So we could have a
You know,
part two.
I yes, we could, but I don't see it happening.
Why?
I would leave it. I would leave it as
I think
is.
we can do it again.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Another battle, baby. That's the name right there. Another battle. Bob and Perfidia and
Oh,
their little fighting
and Willa.
girl. Yeah.
And Willa. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine? What could that
Yeah.
be? I hope he's writing it right now.
Oh, that
It
would be
would really
strong.
be great. I mean, I would expect it to be exalted and be great, not obviously schlock,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So
Mhm.
one can wish, but highly watchable, highly watchable.
Definitely.
Let's take a break.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be right back. So welcome back. We're the Watchers. I'm Victoria.
And I'm Kevin.
Hi. So we're trying out some new sections of the podcast, and one of the things that we wanted to make sure that we talked about is what you can binge right now. What you can
Yeah.
binge right now, if you didn't want to go to the theater, you want to chill on a Saturday night, or in my case, just watch for the whole weekend. And right now, Alien Earth
Oh,
is fully out. Now we both saw it,
yes.
bingeable.
Definitely
I almost
bingeable.
think it'd be easier to watch it in a binge because this it was torture to watch it week to week.
I feel like you have to watch it in a binge. I
Yeah,
feel like this is one of those shows that you actually have to sit through the whole thing because to me, early on, the first couple episodes, it builds up to what happens about mid-season.
yeah.
And then from the rest of the way, it's amazing. It's
I
great.
I kind of pushed you into it.
You did.
I was
You
like, you
did.
have
And
to watch this. You have to watch this.
I gave it twice
Yeah,
because the first go around I got through the second episode and I was like, I don't know. I'm a huge Alien fan,
Mm-hmm.
but the show is just not grabbing me like I thought it was going to grab me. And Victoria was, you told me give it another shot, and so
So
I did.
one more. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
And
third episode was out of control.
yes, by
Yeah,
the time the third episode kicks in, then you're locked in for
yeah.
sure.
It
Mhm.
world builds, right? It world builds in those first two episodes, but the third episode, which is basically a movie, right? If I remember.
Right. Right.
Um, I loved it. And I heard a lot of chatter about people being not pleased with the last episode. Um,
Oh, really?
I just don't get it. I just thought it was perfect. I enjoyed every minute of it, and
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. It is highly watchable.
Yeah, I
What?
think it's watchable too. I think they gave just enough for you to lock in for the first season
Yeah.
and want to continue it on.
Yeah, they can't wait too long, though. I hope they are not going to like do a 2 year.
I hope not.
Good
I hope
Lord,
not.
because I'm going to have
Yeah,
to then rewatch it, which is okay.
yeah. And I also hope the ratings were good enough to where they do get a second season.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what do you got?
I have two picks
Okay,
actually.
okay,
I have Black Rabbit.
okay.
I don't know if you are a fan of Ozark,
I
but
was
Jason Bateman is in Black Rabbit,
okay.
as well as Jude Law.
Oh
And
yes, 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 yes. You told me about
yeah,
this.
it's
Yes.
about two brothers who, they were in a band together, or yeah, they're brothers. They were in a band together, and then they launched this bar. It's like a dive bar called the Black Rabbit.
Okay.
Once they get out of being in a band and whatnot. Make a long story short, both brothers have a lot of issues, a lot of financial issues. There's a lot of things that ensue. The very first episode, it starts off with a bang, and you're just following them in all of the chaos and wanting to know what's going to happen. And in true Jason Bateman form, he kind of builds up the momentum and kind of gives this quirky guy that seems to slip in and out of things and make things work and not work
Okay. All
his
right.
favor. Um,
What's the
but yeah,
second thing?
Black Rabbit is on Netflix if you guys want to check that out.
Okay.
The second thing is Wayward. I've heard a lot of chatter about Wayward, which is
Okay.
also on Netflix. I
I
have
haven't even
not
heard of
watched it.
that. Okay.
It's Toni
Oh
Collette.
God, she's
She's
great.
the lead character, and it appears to be some kids at a what seems kind of to be like a cult like facility, and it's called Wayward. It's on Netflix,
Fully
and a lot of
bingeable. I can go
really
through it.
bingeable. I
All
would
right.
say yes. I'm just putting that in there because I know a lot of people are talking about it, and I'm
Okay.
gonna give it a shot as well.
All right. I'll give it a shot and I'll report back to you in about a
Mhm.
week.
Okay.
There are things right now that we're both watching that haven't fully dropped. So we're
Right.
trying to not like we're both watching Reasonable Doubt.
Yes.
That's your date watching that with your wife, right? I
I
am.
am.
That's
So
a beautiful show. God.
it is, and I'm a little behind, and I'm a little, I can't wait to watch, but I have to watch it with my wife. So,
Yeah. I'm
um,
watching the morning show that's happening right now, season
ooh,
4.
yes, yes,
And I want to start Gen V. I want to start
Gen V.
that. Uh
I'm late to Gen V.
yeah.
I'm also late to The Boys.
Oh
I have,
my gosh.
yeah, I
You
haven't
haven't
watched
watched The
The Boys.
Boys?
No,
Stop what you're doing. Oh
I,
God,
I
to watch The Boys from the beginning.
yeah,
It's so enjoyable.
I have to watch both,
Okay.
because obviously, in order to get into Gen V, you can
Yeah.
tell me or not tell me. I would imagine I would have to know the premise
I mean, you
behind.
will know the world. I think Gen V's set up enough that you don't have to know, but it works
Mhm.
better for you if you do know the world because there's
Okay.
some references to characters that are in The Boys.
Mhm.
The Boys is just next level superhero storytelling. It's
Yeah.
really
Well,
fantastic. It's really fantastic. And I'm also watching Tasks.
Task.
Are you
Yeah.
watching Task? Are you watching?
It's on my list to watch.
Yeah,
I haven't started it yet,
yeah.
but it's on my
Mark
list.
Ruffalo is
Yeah.
is
I hear it's
really
good.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very interesting. It's very there's like a theme going on right now with a lot of these shows, with
Mm.
I don't know. I don't want to speak because I don't really know what the hell is going on yet. So like I don't know I'm sort of like what is happening. I have to watch every episode like twice because it's moving really quick. I don't know.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I
Okay.
haven't clicked in fully, but it's Mark Ruffalo is so good, and the other characters that are the other actors that are in it. Everybody's so good, and it's so well done. The other thing that I think it's fun to talk about now is if you missed it in the theaters, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um, you can see Together, right? Together is now streaming. Weapons, which if you missed our review, if you want to know if you like it or not, please go and check out our podcast when we talked about Weapons.
Yeah.
It's now
Definitely.
streaming, right?
Definitely watch Weapons. Yes.
And Bring Her Back. I just bought Bring Her Back. I just grabbed a copy of it, the
Okay.
horror movie. Did you see that? You probably didn't see it because it's horror.
No,
Yeah,
but you said you grabbed a copy of it. You
yeah,
bought it?
I bought it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm very into the hard digital
Okay.
because I'm petrified they're gonna pull my licensing agreement and then I won't have the movie in my. I mean, I have like, I don't know, 1,400 digital copies of
Wow.
films, but it dawned on me one day that, it's digital, it can go away. So I started buying hard copies again.
No, very true.
Yeah.
Very true. And not only that, in some cases they go back and change things on certain films and TV shows. So to have the copy that is unaltered, you can't get
Yeah.
that back.
Yeah. Like I think I think I have like an early Star Wars.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I think I do. I'd have to like look at I have a lot of DVDs.
Yeah, 1,400 is a lot.
That's digital. That's the digital. That's not the DVDs like on
VHS
the,
or
yeah. No,
DVDs, yeah.
I don't have any VHS, but I have DVDs and Blu-rays and
Man.
yeah, I love them because I love the commentary.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like some of the best commentaries I can listen to over and over again and listen to the different sections. Like Seven is one of my favorite movies, right? And the audio commentary, Brad Pitt, David Fincher, the audio commentary with the sound department,
Mm-hmm.
right? It is like amazing,
It's a lot to learn there.
Yeah, I've listened to all the audio tracks of Lord of the Rings. I'm a bit of a geek. Yeah, because it's just an education. It's just like an education on how they make movies.
But that's dope. I mean, that's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
We love movies. We love talking about them, and we love having a lot of the background knowledge.
Yeah,
it gives you more to talk about and more understanding as to why the director and the actors and the writers do what they do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kevin, it's been great as always to sit and chat with you, and
yeah,
I want to end the show by asking people to please go and listen to the podcast, review the podcast, 5-star the podcast, subscribe, click. We're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're all the places one can be.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're everywhere.
Thanks so much for hanging out.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I'm not having you. We having each other here.
No, but yeah, no, this has been great. This has been great. And let's do it again.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.